Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. This is Violair, and I have new headsets finally. It's actually headphones only, but they're really good quality, and, well, anyways, if I had added some episodes from my Twitch stream to my YouTube channel. I labeled them with spoiler alert. I was going through the 2.55 storyline, and, well, it's probably been about 5 hours since I did that, and I'm still at a loss for words. I'm not going to spoil it here, but, oh my god, Square, you have outdone yourself. Anyways, last time, we killed Ifrit, and we are back at the, Waking Sands, and seeing what Minfilia wants. Minfilia is wearing a wry smile. Might it have something to do with your newfound fame? Might it? I have fame. Until not very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzean. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Therefore, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Y'shtola that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. Yeah, I did that. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come out without a price, as you will soon discover. Well, does fame involve me and you in a bed? That would be a great price for me. I don't see an issue with that. We have guessed, Violair, or rather, you have guessed. Wait, what? Oh my god, they're breaking down the doors. Beg pardons. Oh, hey. Guys with funny hats. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. Sorry, my window just dropped for some reason. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. And given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. Okay, cool. As you can see, Violair, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzean. Such organizations would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. Oh my god, I'm the girl in the dating sim. And there's 3 guys. That's like a reverse dating sim. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Violair's deeds spread so quickly, that the Immortal Flames would know her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other Grand Companies? Eep! She did a lovely taru panic mode. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Sparkle. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as yourself. Join your strength to ours, friend, and let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelvewood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Sparkle. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing regards. A woman of your talent belongs with the Immortal Flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. Which, if you remember, it's because I started in Limsa. Did I? Yeah, I did. As do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of Eorzean took note, your name was well known to us, owing to your valorous deeds on behalf of our citizens. It's only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel Limsa Laminsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on the matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. They actually reformed just before the end of the 6th Astral Era. They were there before, during the original Garlean War, or the war with the Garleans, I should say, back 15 years before this game started. But, you know, they kind of dissolved, and then during 1.0 they came back, I think sometime around 1.2. I kept reading info on them. I think in the original, I joined the Immortal Flames, because apparently Ulda was the place to be. I can see why I have horrible memories of the Gridania area. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzean: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lamenta, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ulda. Serving a grand company means serving a nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Company's best decisions are like, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance to a later day, you are entitled to do so, and yet, I can see that is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold Remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Valir hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. And they all have their own individual salutes, so... I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join the Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of rewards is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Valir, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that the great power is wont to attract attention. Not all of it is friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must need to be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a grand company, however, you'll be one woman amongst many, a friend among friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization needs not mean leaving another, but we continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Apparently in 1.0, there was a running joke that she just kept calling you on your link pearl. I think it was her and I know it was Minfilia. I don't know if the joke was from 1.0 or from 2.0, but there's a joke about her using the link pearl to call you too much. To the effect of the wind-up Minfilia pet actually says link pearl services have been disabled. And an April Fool's joke they did a year ago for relationship with NPC system had it say that she would call you all the time to check on you and wouldn't like it if she saw you with another girl. As such, I would have you carry that. Oh, I heard that. Eorzean is changing, Vieler, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what tomorrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the Remembrance services are due to take place. And I actually have not picked a Grand Company to join yet. Due to my lack of, watchers, I will probably be asking my free company for an opinion, and I pretty much know what they're all going to say. But I won't give you spoilers on that yet. Tataru, come here. But yeah, they've wowed me. I don't mean like they've sent me to WoW. I mean like they've amazed me so much with this story. It seems like so little right now, but just keep watching, and you'll start to catch little strings of things that foreshadow later events. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Vieler. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Ahem. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the Remembrance services are taking place? If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold their first of 3 services, and Elder Seed Seer Connie Senna will deliver her address at Miketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services may change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ulda, where Flame General Robon Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there will be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Laminsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merla Blowfish will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the Sentry Xanthio, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go. Then, I hope you find the Remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city states that might prescribe the order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may very well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. In other words, you can go to any of them at any time. Which, due to the fact that I am in the Ulda area, I'm going to go to Ulda first. Because then I can save a gil. And then I can just catch the airship for later places. Alright, where did she say it was at the Ulda? Is that the Royal Promenade? No. Might be at the... Oh, it'll tell us right here. Royal Promenade, yes. Which is at the Chamber of Wool. A place I've been very well into today. But that's a story for another day. We'll get to that eventually on this character. Because of the knowledge that you will actually need to complete the main storyline for A Realm Reborn before you can start the main storyline for Heaven's Word. And yes, we'll be seeing a lot of people around some of these places. Just because.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanima herself.
Yay!
Bon as well.
Yeah, like, Roban, yeah, you're there too. Oh, will you do the cool thing? Do the cool thing! Yeah, I'm not doing the cool thing.
Souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah!
Yay!
Rauban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have brought sand into gold.
Yeah!
By the grace and glory of Naldal, have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
Yay! Oh hey, it's those two.
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we.
Really?
Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests.
Yay!
If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled.
Enthralled.
Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save?
Maybe?
You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death.
Ooh, you're good. So's this
Our
potato.
enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand.
Yay!
Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people. Yeah, for Ul'dah!
Yay!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Rauban,
Are you doing the cool thing? Yay!
people of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzean to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the inferno, for we are by fire reborn!
Yay!
me. Alfie, no.
Alfie? No.
And my sister, Alize, at your service.
I swear, Elise, like, never talks, and she's probably going to talk right after this because I made a comment.
I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler.
Yeah, I remember you from the carriage
You
ride.
might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Oldons have a long history of conflict with the Eorzean, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you've encountered them. Yeah. The Oldons do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flame each time he has stoked the life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Eorzean has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming that they had the coin, the resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Eorzean are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Oldons send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Thus, wonder, then, that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventure of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Hey baby, where are you going? He's too young for me. Well, elves age differently though, don't they? Alright. Our next stop is going to be Gridania. Before I set a course for Limsa because, well, you know. Alright, I can take the airship from, like, right back here. They really should put a crystal at the airship docks. That's just my opinion, but we all know my opinion means everything. Or nothing, because no one watches me. Maybe one day. I mean, I have had some interesting people comment on other videos before, like when I was doing Equestria Bound, that I think it was actually the guy who did the ROM hacking commented on my thing. And I was kind of surprised. At least he knew what he was talking about a lot, especially in concern to something I had wondered, or I've mentioned, that he mentioned had changed in a recent version. But, you know, sometimes you just get interesting people. I'm trying to make friends. I've been on Reddit. You might occasionally see me on the Let's Play forums. I've done some critiques. I'm not very good at them, but it looks like the people like what I've said. And there's one guy that he had a cold open, and it played later in the video, like not too long into the video, maybe 2 minutes. I'm like, you might want to, in future videos, just kind of either make the cold cut specific to being a cold cut, or just skip the cold cut. He's like, oh, okay. And as far as I know, he did. There's like a couple other people. They were pretty alright with it. And I think this is a town where I haven't gotten all the crystals yet. So, do I have the Mikido's Amphitheater? I do not. Yes, I do. You know, maybe... Oh, my cat's under my foot again. Like, the one cat gets on my foot, the one gets on the back of my chair. Anyways, My name on there is Chibiatrica. If you see me, say hi. I really should start posting on videos. And right now I am not exactly sure which NPC I'm talking to, because the Easter event's going on. I know Julie Iliapo isn't. I'm not sure if Estain is, though. No. Oh, destination right here. And here we get to see Big Sexy.
To the calamity.
Oh.
The 3 Seats are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body.
Well, Bahamut kind of does that to ya. Hey, big hottie.
Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Eorzean settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Yay!
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seed Seat.
Oh, look, it says 2 again. It's like they're going to be important later.
Twined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Eorzean. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
This potato needs more cheese.
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us.
There's the other hottie. Raya Osena.
Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. Five years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed. Each waking hour, a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
I'm currently shipping that Mikate and the elf that's right behind the elf with the black hair.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
Oh my god, she's got a really pretty voice. No, seriously, you like never hear her talk.
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen.
Yay.
Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder's standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity.
We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the forest.
All the elementals!
No, for some reason I always thought the one that was in black was a cat. I know he was, oh god, what's the race guy? It's Padgel. But I thought he was a cat. I blame the darkness of the Conjurer's Guild.
Fancy meeting you again.
Oh yeah, like you weren't expecting us. Maybe you're stalking me. I didn't see you here before. The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition, and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed in roughly the time they summoned the primal Rama. We'll learn more about that later. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the woods, and therefore the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Those two are pretty much wearing the same clothes, aren't they? Anyways, this episode's going to run slightly long because I'm going to do all 3 of the Remembrance ceremonies. So, we've done that, and let's go to Limsa for the last of the 3 Remembrance services. Where we'll probably be informed that Limsa is also under attack by 2 beast tribes. Ulta is kind of lucky. Except they kind of get the one that's most warlike. Or war-loving. Anyways, we just need to go to the ball, or the states room, which is over here. I believe we've actually been in there before. Anyways, we just need to talk to this guy. Hello, lesson. Here to attend the Remembrance service? Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Yes.
Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride.
It's a boat. Well, I guess it makes sense. They are pirates.
700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Yeah! Oh, look who's with us again.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
Makes sense.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom Standard, and our Grand Company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners. And together, we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage. Yet many of ours did not survive.
Yeah, I really do see why these 3 are good leaders. They are eloquent with their speech.
Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again?
Yeah.
Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Leviathan.
Those fishbuck
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go.
And we'll be seeing them soon too.
These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the Calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all.
Yay!
Gather the lads!
Where's me cutlass?
I like that one.
Follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral.
And now we get to learn more about the Maelstrom.
Fancy meeting you again.
No, it's not. We knew you were going to be here. As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Nimslamint is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagins, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect the fortress right in the Leminton's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blade and watch. If the Lemintons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. But would you sail with the Admiral? No, being called. Via there, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope? Would it be correct in thinking that the final Remembrance service is now concluded? A moment ago, you say? What a coincidence! Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking of Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back! And we will hurry back. By the time we're in the next episode, I'm going to go ahead and walk there off screen. So, I hope you enjoyed and have fun.